Hello everyone and welcome to another very nice game. This one is from round 6 of this year's FIDE Grand Swiss. Polish Grandmaster Szymon Gumularz takes on Nihal Sarin, and Nihal is definitely the favorite. He's over 100 rating points higher rated, but both of them are doing incredibly well in the tournament. In the first 5 rounds, Szymon faced Shan Sargsyan. That was a draw in round 1, then victories against Jonas Bulbier and Grigori Oparin, then a draw versus Alireza and a draw versus Nodirbek Yakubuev. Whereas Nihal started off with a draw against Rasmus Svane, then a victory against Aram Hakobian, and then 2 draws against Yuri Kuzubov and Pranav, finishing it with a victory in round 5 against Leon-Luc Mendonça. Now they face each other. Let's check it out. It's a beautiful miniature and a theme that doesn't come up very often. So Szymon with white opens with pawn to d4. We have d5 by Nihal and pawn to c4. We have d captures on c4. He is over 100 rating points higher rated, so going for the Queen's Gambit accepted shows that he is playing definitely for a win with black. We have knight to f3 and knight to f6. We have pawn to e3 and pawn to e6. This is the main line of the Queen's Gambit accepted. Bishop captures on c4 and pawn to c5. Again, all very standard stuff. We have castles, and now c captures on d4. This is somewhat rare. Usually you will see pawn to a6, which is the top played move, and knight to c6, which is the second move. C captures on d4, somewhat rarer. We have e captures on d4, bishop to e7, and we have knight to c3. Sorry, knight to c3. We have castles kingside and rook to e1. And if you look at the situation on the clock, both of them are playing pretty much instantly. We have pawn to a6, preparing pawn to b5, and Szymon goes for bishop to f4. First move where he wastes a little bit of time, some 5 minutes. We have pawn to b5 by Nihal, bishop to b3, and bishop to b7. We have rook to c1, getting the rook into the game. It's the only open file on the board, so it makes sense. We have bishop to b4, sort of a loss of a tempo, but Nihal has a very clear idea of what he wants to do. But also, now that the bishop moved from e7, bishop to g5 becomes an option, as the knight is now just pinned. We have knight b to d7, defending the knight that is pinned, and pawn to a3. We have bishop captures on c3. Nihal decided to give up the bishop pair. Rook captures, and now rook to c8. We have rook c to e3, nicely doubling up on the e file, and queen to c7, preparing some queen to c6 action, and then going for checkmate if it will be possible. So here Szymon goes for knight to e5, and we have knight captures on e5. And the most hard to say if it's the most precise, but the safe move is rook captures on e5. Szymon, obviously playing also for a win, played d captures on e5. He wants to dislodge the knight, get the bishop over to this diagonal, play queen h5, the usual stuff. He does have the bishop pair, so this should lead to some sort of a checkmating attack. But Nihal throws in a queen c6 first. Now he attacks the g2 pawn and is threatening checkmate. So how can you defend? Well, rook f3. Defend checkmate, and now the knight has to move. Okay, knight to e4 attacks the bishop, and the bishop to h4. We have pawn to h6, and now is the critical position where there's only one good move for white where you don't lose the game on the spot. And it's not so much a move as a sequence of moves. You have to go bishop e7, attack the rook as it comes with tempo, then you get another move, bishop e4, and you put the bishop on c3. And then you are happy. However, in the game, rook to f4 was played, sort of threatening to capture the knight, asking the knight to move, but now there is a problem. Obviously, we can see if the knight moves that there should be some problems on that g2 pawn, but the question is what and where. So feel free to pause the video and win the game for Nihal while I give you a couple of seconds. The move in question, of course, is knight to c3. This is what Nihal played, and now there really isn't all that much you can do. And if you thought about knight captures on f2 with an attack on the queen and the threat of checkmate, this doesn't work due to rook captures on f2, and now the g2 pawn is defended. But after this h6 move, rook to f4, and now knight to c3. What was played after queen to f3 was knight to e2 with check, and he was in this position on move 22 that Szymon Gumularz resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. So his excellent streak comes to an end, but Nihal's streak continues as he is now sharing second place with everyone else behind Parham Maksulu, but we'll see. Some of the games are still being played. I will give you the full standings after all of the games have finished. But yeah, you resign here as what do you do? Your king is in check, so if you capture the knight, then just a nice queen to c1 with check, and that's it. Queen c1 check, you can block with the bishop, then queen captures, you block with the rook, queen captures, and it all leads to checkmate. So if knight e2 check, you cannot capture with the rook. Can you capture with the queen? Of course not. Queen captures on g2 is instant checkmate. So the only thing you could do is move the king to f1, but then knight captures on f4. And if you want to recapture material, you have to allow queen captures on g2. Yes, here it does not come with checkmate, but still, it would be a devastating attack. Queen captures, king to e2. You know, literally any move wins the game for black. Let's say bishop d5, and there's no move that you can play here. If bishop captures, queen captures, you get the rook into the game, and you don't even have to rush a win. You're just up material. Your king is safe, your opponent's king is not. And yes, we always said that we're already in round 6. You should play out until the very end. You know, there is a chance that your opponent makes a mistake. But here, you know, it probably would be in poor taste as Nihal is too strong a player and this position is just too good. So yeah, tough break for Szymon, but Nihal gets a beautiful win, and this is this now well, is quite a lot for him. Like I said, he will be sharing second place with everyone at least. First place is still Parham, but yeah, brilliant stuff by Nihal. It was okay, maybe it was a little Szymon was a bit unlucky that, you know, the tactic existed, but you have to check everything. He was running low on time. Nihal had 44 minutes. Szymon was down below 10 minutes. He wanted to make a move quickly, and yeah, it didn't work out. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Very short one, but you know, those are the best for the player who wins. And now he gets you know, a nice rest day, as this was a very short game, and then he comes as a victor and fully rested to fight another day. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank Christian Fisher, Carmen Polifronio, Austin Wheeler, Ali Yurukuglu, and Joseph McCurdle for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. I already have the next game picked, and I'm pretty sure you guys know which one it is. See you soon.